Hello everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com and today we're going to talk a little bit about Fury Unleashed. So full disclosure, I received a code for this game, thank you very much for that. It's a really enjoyable title that kind of brings a lot of things I enjoy into one place. Really fun, and I've had an absolute blast with it, so thank you very much for sending that to me. And the first thing to say about this is I really like the art style. It reminds me of something a little bit like Comic Zone, which was a real classic thing I was into when I was younger. I really liked that kind of art style in general anyway, but it just does really good things in this. The things you can find, like the items you can find, the little pickups, the exciting sort of moments and the storytelling really lends itself to that. And also the gameplay is very fast paced, so the art kind of feels just kind of right, if you know what I mean. It really feels like it fits this kind of pace of gameplay, and it allows for this kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of element to the bad guys. You've got, for the first area that you're going to be seeing in this video, the majority of it is basically the jungle, so it's all enemies that are very sort of tribal inspired, sort of the undead and liches, those kind of things, the witch doctor-esque vibe. But then the other comics kind of move into the sort of, I would say, World War kind of era, like the wartime era, and then they move into space. So it's a really nice way to have this fun, exciting romp in a really enjoyable setting. Likewise, the items are really fun. The game takes on very much a roguelite style gameplay element, so you unlock weapons by finding them, you take on challenges that you find during the game, you unlock things for your next playthrough, but it's just a case of throwing yourself at it and doing the best you can with what you've got, unlocking as many weapons as you can, just varying that playstyle and throwing yourself into it. And I had such a good time with this. Here I'm using a sniper rifle, so I do high damage output from a bit of a distance. I've got melee weapons as well, and you can also customise things like grenades. But later on you find things like rail guns, machine guns. At one point I was dual wielding nail guns, and it really changes the dynamic of the game. Sure, there are certain elements where it feels a little bit slower paced because of this, but it also means that if you really build your character the way you want to play, you can get your combo meter, which is what you can see on the top left, you can get that so high, and it ends up feeling so fun, just destroying everything ahead of you and smashing your way through these traps and beating all these guys. It's a real blast, and I had a really good time with it. I think it lends itself to this style really well, and it's different, it's very different. The fact that you can teleport around the world as well, and that the map itself is like a comic book, helps with the gameplay to keep fast whilst also keeping that feel. And it's just been really fun, I'm not going to lie. There is co-op functionality as well, and if you play with a friend, I found it was, yeah, just amazing. Really fun. It's the kind of game where I think you can very easily lose an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at a time, because even if you die, you just want to go straight back in again. Likewise, the bosses are very varied. There's a lot of different enemies that you can fight against. In my playthrough, I fought against spiders, I fought against like a main boss, and I also fought against this really cool witch doctor. And it was they were just really great in the way that they were designed, and they all felt different. I think sometimes you fall into that trap with games like this where the enemies will feel very similar, or the attack patterns will just be, yeah, you're just doing the same thing each time. But it doesn't feel that way, it feels very different. And the fact that you can change your weapons and change your abilities helps it to keep flowing and just feeling different with each playthrough. The overarching story is great too, and handles some really interesting takes on different things. I think it really explores the kind of mind of a creator in a really interesting way, and shows that kind of void that people can feel when they make things, and also that onset of stuff like depression. So it's really deep in that way too, I really like it. Anyway, thank you for tuning in everyone. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll catch you again very soon.